Right, let's focus on Manchester United now, who are hoping to bounce back from that demoralising home defeat to 10-man Everton. They were at Crystal Palace on Sunday. We can now hear from the United boss. Here is Ruben Amorim.
On Monday, you spoke about your team you felt your team is still quite a long way from where you want it to be. Last year and during the summer, we took you at face value when you were saying the things about your team, but like this week you've had a whole week off and you're playing opponents who were away from home in Europe on Thursday night. Isn't this exactly the kind of game that Manchester United should be able to step into?
In our club is the same thing, because last year we had to win every game all the time. And we took a lot of things, a lot of criticism, because we were not winning. So in our club, there is no excuses. About Europe, I already talked about Europe. And I said the same thing last year when we were in Europe. And I say the same thing this year. The advantage and the disadvantage of not being in Europe. So there is no excuses. Last year or this year, we have always to win games.
Are you disappointed with where your team is now then, given...
I think if I look at the games, we should have more points. And because we had control of some games, we had the advantage in some games, and we lost that control. So if I look at our games, we should have more points, and that is really disappointing and really frustrating, especially the last game.
Hi, Ruben. Obviously, on Monday, you see the disappointment in everyone's faces. How do you stop them getting too low and going into a tailspin and going back?
To start again was really tough. The week, as should be, was hard to this result, this defeat. But the process needs to continue, and we need to go for the next game, and we need to understand that, especially in our league this year, everything can change really fast. So let's go again and focus on the next one.
Will Matheus Cunha and Harry Maguire be available tomorrow? And what's the update with Sesko? Is it looking like next week, maybe?
No, Sesko is going to take a little bit more time. Harry, the same. I expect to have Matheus in the next one, not this one.
Sorry, just on Sesko, does that mean he's had a setback, or is it working?
No. It's take a little bit longer. We are taking care of the injury.
Ruben, you mentioned after the game on Monday feeling similar to last year and being afraid of having similar feelings to last year. How much did that increase after the game? And do you think the players share that maybe nervousness that they could repeat last year?
Again, I think if you look at the game, I think we can play better. We could be better in the game, and with everything that happened in that game, we should have won that game. So we have to feel that urgency of winning games. We know what happened around the club if we don't win games. So if we know that, let's do everything in the right way. But again, we lost that one. We cannot change that. Let's focus on the next one.
Ruben, the away issues that United have faced, I think one away win in the last 11. What can you do to solve that? What are you doing to solve that? The same things that we need to do to show to the players why we lost control of Nottingham, why we lost control against Tottenham. And if you look at that games, we're there to win, and then sometimes a small detail can change everything. Then I felt during this year that when we play at home, the intensity was higher, and I felt in this game at home the intensity was not at the same level. So I think it's something that we need to work on. So it's hard to point one thing why we are not winning away. There's a lot of issues. We are improving. Like I said, we have advantage in the away games. We need to know how to finish the games in order to win.
James and then Samuel.
Ruben, obviously Palace are a different club, different pressures and scrutiny to United, of course. But obviously Glasner's had a lot of success playing a similar system to you, and that's continued this season despite losing his best player in Eze. Do you look at what they've done and do you draw a lot of inspiration and encouragement from Palace, and is one of the big differences is that their wing backs obviously really settled. How big an impact can that?
We played a different way, and you can understand that by data. But now it's hard to explain everything. Like you said, it's a different club, and they are doing things better than us. So that is quite simple. But you don't say that all 4-3-3 play in the same way, right? What I'm saying, yeah, we play in the different moment. We defend in the different space. We try to attack in the different way. They are just doing the things better than us.
They can be very quick. The speed with which they attack. I just sort of wonder sometimes when you see, obviously like you play in a different way, but a similar setup in terms of formation, whether you ever take or draw ideas from things, thinking, "Oh, I quite like that. I don't like that."
I play against him in Frankfurt with Sporting, so I know the players. I take inspiration from everyone. When I have 2 weeks for national teams, I watch all the managers and try to take all the inspiration that I can take. I have 6 years as a manager, professional manager, so I'm always trying to learn to improve my team.
And finally, there's been obviously a lot of focus on like your central midfield and whether that'll be an area that you strengthen next season. Is the wing back area though, which is a fundamental part of your team, is that an area over the next 12 months that you want to explore?
I think we need time to improve the characteristics of the team. I said that in the last year, and to give an example, the last game we should have an Ahmad with the right foot to put on the other side to play against 10 men. So is this kind of characteristics that we will try to get to be a better team. So if we are at the perfect setup to play in this way, not yet. But like any other team, we need time to put the right characteristics in every single position to be prepared for everything.
Just on the wing back still, Ruben, I think Munoz and Mitchell are in the top 5 for most distance covered in the Premier League, and United's wing backs are quite a way down. Do you feel as though that those players are still having to develop to get those attacking instincts that you want to really become proper?
Maybe they play, I don't know how you read that data, maybe they play more games, more minutes, so you cannot compare the data. We make a lot of substitutions. Sometimes we change because we know that is a different position, or you want to change the feet with Allo and Patrick, and we change a lot. Sometimes we start with Ahmad in front, but most of the times, if we need to win the game, I put Ahmad on the right. Ahmad change position all the time, so that can change all the data, and you see different things. But again, they are doing the things really well. They play in more in transition than us. The opponents see it in the different way. So all these things we have to look when we compare teams. But of course, in every position we can do so much better.
Okay, move on to the...
Right, let's get to Crystal Palace now. They'll look to bounce back from their disappointing Europa Conference League defeat to Strasbourg last night when they faced Manchester United on Sunday. Oliver Glasner spoke earlier. Our reporter Michael Bridge was there for us. Good afternoon to you, Michael. So, given that Palace have so many games at the moment, did Glasner talk at all about the need to strengthen their squad?
Yes, he did, Joe. Yeah, he was quite open on the fact that they do need to strengthen, particularly in the attacking areas after Christmas. Of course, they're in Europe, which is very different for Crystal Palace. It's not for him. Oliver Glasner has obviously won the Europa League, and they've had a mixed start in the Conference League. It's obviously a disappointing night for them last night, but it's far from over. It's far from a disaster for them. And in terms of the league, they're doing ever so well. They're in the top 6. They're in the League Cup quarter-final against Arsenal as well. But it's a smallish squad, and does he need more bodies?
I think we need to. Ismaila also will leave us. So he's the only player who makes runs in behind from our taste, the profile. Yeah. So maybe, I think we just have to have this profile again, because also the other players on the bench, they are a different profile, and we need players to stretch the defense. And I hope that we will get it done.
Do you think that's the key to being competitive in the second half of the season domestically, and Europe?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, that's the answer. So he hopes that Crystal Palace will strengthen. That would be music to the supporters' ears, because it could, obviously last season was one of the most memorable in the club's history. But I'll tell you what, it could be still a really good season here. They'll be one of the favourites still to win the Conference League, despite the mixed start to life in Europe here. 5th in the table, despite having Europe as well. It's ever so impressive. And as I mentioned in the League Cup quarter-final, they don't have too long to wait for their next game. Manchester United at midday at Selhurst Park on Sunday, and they've got a very, very good record against Manchester United. And Oliver Glasner in the press conference as well, talking about his formation up against Ruben Amorim's formation, the preference of 3 at the back, and how much he's looking forward to going up against Ruben Amorim. So no real worries or concerns of him in terms of new injuries, apart from Will Hughes, but he said he should be okay to make it on Sunday. But one thing we do know here is January could be a busy one here for Crystal Palace.
Lovely stuff, Michael. Thank you very much.